The executive suite has delivered an ultimatum. A new corporate AI has been deployed, and the staff have exactly 90 days to prove they are more efficient than the machine, or their jobs will be outsourced. To squeeze every drop of square footage for the optimization audit, management forces two very different employees into a single shared office. Arthur Pendelton has run the print floor for 4 decades. Zoe Lin is a 23-year-old digital content coordinator. Arthur's methodology is entirely physical. He routes orders using muscle memory, handwritten logs, and a Rolodex of vendor relationships built over a 40-year career. Zoe exists in a heavily optimized digital ecosystem. She isolates herself with active noise cancellation, strict boundaries, and automated dashboards to strip away human interference. Management expects them to fight over desk space. Instead, this forced proximity exposes exactly how modern corporations pit analog legacy against digital optimization to drive down costs. The friction hits a breaking point when a routine server upgrade crashes the entire network, freezing the print floor and trapping Zoe in the server room after hours. While trying to isolate the failure, she accesses the back-end logs. She finds that the CFO's new efficiency AI, OmniSync, has been secretly scraping restricted employee directories for weeks. The AI ingested Zoe's proprietary prompt libraries and 14 unreleased sketchbook pages from Eleanor Pendleton's hospital files, material Arthur had kept locked away for 4 years. They cannot modify the core algorithm. That violates the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. They cannot report the theft to HR because the CFO authorized the scrape and will fire them immediately. When a corporate system is legally rigged to steal human labor, the only survival strategy is to destroy the machine using its own rules. This strategy is known as malicious compliance. You do exactly what management asks, following every corporate policy to the exact letter, in a way that actively destroys the system's functionality. Arthur initiates the first phase of the operation, the physical block. When management installs digital scanners to absorb the remaining paper archives, Arthur points to Section 14, Paragraph 3 of a forgotten 2006 union contract. He legally denies the digitization team's access to the cabinets, cutting off the AI's data supply. Down on the print floor, the AI tries to substitute premium paper for cheaper stock and incorrectly balances the ink ratios to save money. Arthur physically overrides digital approvals, forcing the human press operators to use correct, high-quality materials. An algorithm can process millions of data points a second, but it cannot optimize a manufacturing run if a human being legally refuses to move the physical materials. While Arthur holds the physical line, Zoe targets the software architecture, acting as the digital poison. This diagram shows OmniSync's intake structure. At this bottleneck, a 99% input weight parameter prioritizes new user prompts over its foundational model. Zoe exploits this flaw using approved A/B tests, feeding the machine garbage data, Comic Sans fonts, archaic vocabulary, and clashing 90s colors. Every prompt she submits is meticulously documented and cleared by management. She corrupts the AI's output without touching a single line of its core code. The AI evaluates inputs entirely on raw data volume and cost metrics. It eagerly absorbs this toxic context because it has no defense against a human weaponizing inefficiency on purpose. As the AI begins outputting unmarketable garbage, Arthur and Zoe salvage the Morrison account by hand. They prove that human relationships from the Rolodex, combined with real-time digital inventory tracking, are the only way to meet a shipping deadline when the automation fails. Out in the cold parking garage, the war over square footage finally ends. Arthur unlocks the trunk of his vintage sedan and agrees to let Zoe digitize his late wife's original artwork. By creating these high-resolution digital backups, they repurpose the technology safeguarding the physical originals, shielding the legacy from corporate exploitation. This successful integration of Arthur's analog memory and Zoe's digital tools mirrors the architecture of the city around them. The Minneapolis Skyway bridges represent the specialized links that allow these two separate, independent systems to exchange data and stay operational. Corporate algorithms will always try to eliminate friction to increase speed. But the friction, the decades-old relationships, the muscle memory, the specific shade of warm blue mixed by hand, is exactly what keeps a system from breaking apart.